part of the hype is that we tend to, some people, not all, but some people take the time you use listening to other people too seriously, in a way, like it means something, or they, pretty much of the, when we look at the TV, if it's a political discussion, are we politically active when we watch TV, or are we just passing time? If you look at this media uses and gratifications theories, it's there are lots of answers to what we are actually doing when we consume media. So
it's not really easy to draw a line that this is political activity now and this is just one other way of consuming this content in this context.
I am interested in communication and in interaction sciences, and so there's this there's action, then there's reaction, and then there's interaction. And interaction is that when, let's say like this, one says something, other one responds, the other one continues based on those previous messages. So when we talk about interaction online, we are quite often talking about reactions, not interactions, reactions. Someone says something, someone replies, and it stops there.
Yeah.
But we tend to understand it as interaction. Okay, in a big scale, it's it has its of course its effects, but part of this hype, this interaction hype, social media hype, is that we look at reactions and we interpret them as interaction or even action. And this is the good question: is what is action? Is it action? Is if I like something on Facebook, is it activity? Is it action? Or is it, did I just happen to consume some media, saw something, I felt a reaction, some kind of emotion, and I express myself by reacting? And of course, then when I react, I press like, my friends see that I like it. So in a way, that has been quite often interpreted as spreading the political message, or like being active.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm just reactive, and the system where we work in, where we active, where we do stuff, is designed to make my reactions to look actions. And this is a more probably the bigger question, or one of the big questions, is that when we tend to look the pre-internet time and the internet time and the social media and so on, pre and post, and the environments in this digital era, in online, they're always designed. It's someone has decided how it works, what you can do, what you cannot do, and when you do something, what does it look like, how it communicates to other people. Before that, it required lots more effort. So, is it writing on a wall, as in a Facebook wall? Is it political action? Or compared to writing on a wall pre-internet time, on an actionable wall. So, are those like on the same level? I would say no. This is kind of someone gave me a space and I used the space. I would say that the people who on internet and social media, those who create spaces, gather the masses, aggregate the agendas and code, assemble, agitate, facilitate, provoke. Those who are like who are writing on the wall, in the physical world.
Yeah.
So, and those who are writing on the wall, they're just like they
are invited to do so in the first place.
And in that way, those who comment or like, and I wouldn't say they're politically active. They've been in a way, you could say that those who are like truly active, the small groups, they're using this big masses to communicate their agenda.
Yeah, they are the ones who create the frame in which this activity or reactivity can happen, because the frame itself becomes something which suggests how you should act in relation to it.
Yeah, and in a way that's kind of an illusion, the masses.
Yeah.
Because in the good old days, when people gathered on the streets to demonstrate their mind, and that's kind of that took effort to go someplace, and it meant something. And if you heard a good joke, you didn't go on the streets to yell the joke. But now when you're online, it's hard to evaluate it. When some people hear a good joke, it gets tens of thousands of shares.
Yeah.
If we're global, it's millions of shares, tens of millions of likes, lots of comments, lots of debate, variations. When we compare the political actions online to those online jokes, it's a good question that, okay, this political action online seemed that big, the reactions there were a great number of them, but when you compare it to your joke, this seems a little bit more a joke. No, but it's important because you shouldn't compare likes to people on the streets, but it's kind of a whole new paradigm, and we are yet to learn how to measure it, how to observe it, how to interpret it. It's, so we don't suck into the hype just because it's a new thing, it's a new shiny thing, and we quite don't understand. We tend to, like I said, those environments, those tools are designed. So there's kind of if you look in the society, if you look at the structures, you should do the same in the technology field, because there are algorithms. And okay, Facebook is changing now again. It makes it really hard to study Facebook, because every 6 months there's some major changes. For instance, now for a long time, even if we wanted to, we couldn't see all the posts and likes and everything, comments from all our friends. But there was this algorithm that tried to decide, calculate, well, what are we interested in? Because again, Facebook knows that we are there just to kill time. It's TV, games, newspapers, Facebook. And we like our friends, so it's more likely that our friends produce content that is makes the killing of the time fun. So, and the algorithm tries to calculate who are the friends that you're more, who you like, or whose output you like. Yeah. And those algorithms are those invisible, quite often forgotten structures of the social media environments that create those echo chambers that when we see political messages or memes passing along, so we get this feeling that everyone is pro this, everyone likes this, everyone has this same agenda, and is it just that we don't see those who don't participate? Maybe I was, for instance, if you take the Finns, who their success is somewhat credited to online tools, and it might be, for those truly active, those who
in the forums,
who start up, who make the culture and those agendas who the common people can like to.
Yeah.
And I've never seen any of that kind of political discussion on my Facebook.
Okay.
Because I have friends, even though I have friends who have that kind of political views, but I don't interact with them.
So it doesn't choose to show them to you what they have?
Yeah, so I don't interact with, because our political views, they are on the background, so I tend to be close to the persons who think alike. And that affects should be via algorithm. So it's kind of, if you ask about some campaign, and is it that it's a good question. That was it? It was a success, but was it the success that happened on a device, a service that was designed to work like that?
Yeah, and it happens that it is sort of interesting. Yes, you mentioned that how the